Have you ever felt so broken that giving up seemed like the only way out? Imagine living in your car, facing rejection and laughter at every turn. That was Tyler Perry's reality. Yet, he transformed his pain into power, rising from those dark moments to become one of the most influential filmmakers in the world. His journey teaches us that our struggles can be the very foundation of our success. When you feel lost, remember, your story isn't over. It's just the beginning of your own triumph. I remember the darkness closing in, the shadows creeping around the corners of my mind. My name is Tyler Perry, but back then I was just Emmett Perry Jr., a scared little boy in New Orleans. My home was a battlefield, my father's rage a storm that never seemed to pass. I learned early on that safety was a luxury I couldn't afford. Every night, I prayed for escape, wishing for a way out of the pain that wrapped around me like a suffocating blanket. But in that chaos, I found a flicker of light. Writing. It became my refuge, my sanctuary. With every word I penned, I transformed my hurt into stories, my fears into characters. I wrote about love, hope, and resilience, crafting worlds where I could be free. Those pages held my dreams, my struggles, and my triumphs. Writing saved me. It gave me a voice when I felt voiceless, a purpose when I felt lost. I learned that even in the darkest moments, creativity can be a lifeline. I turned my pain into power, and that power became my story. It's a reminder that no matter how bruised we are, we can rise, we can heal, and we can create something beautiful from our scars. I remember those days, scribbling in my notebooks, lost in my own world. Oprah Winfrey inspired me to write letters to myself, dreaming of a better, safer future. Each character I created was a piece of my heart, a way to escape the chaos around me. I wasn't just telling stories, I was healing. Those words flowed from my pen like a lifeline, shaping my reality in ways I never imagined. Little did I know, this journey would not only transform my life but also touch millions of others. Writing became my sanctuary, a bridge to a brighter tomorrow. In 1992, I took a leap of faith, pouring my last $12,000 into a play called I Know I've Been Changed. I rented a theater, printed posters, handed out flyers, and waited for the audience. But only 30 people showed up. It was a crushing failure. I tried again the next year, and it flopped again. For 6 long years, I kept pushing, pouring my heart into every production, but the results were the same. I found myself homeless, sleeping in my car, hungry, broke, and humiliated. Yet, through it all, I refused to give up. Each setback only fueled my determination to keep chasing my dream. I remember the moment vividly. I was backstage, heart racing, surrounded by the echoes of laughter and tears from the audience. It was a typical night, or so I thought. My plays had been struggling for years, and I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever find my voice. Then, out of nowhere, inspiration struck. I envisioned this character, a grandmother who was unapologetically herself. Sassy, loud, and full of wisdom. I named her Medea. When I first introduced Medea to the stage, I had no idea what to expect. I could feel the energy shift as she stepped into the spotlight. The audience was captivated. She was bold, funny, and real. Everything I wanted to portray but hadn't quite managed to capture until that moment. Medea wasn't just a character. She was a reflection of the strength and resilience I saw in the women around me, especially in my own family. As the play unfolded, I watched the audience react. They laughed at her outrageous comments, cried at her heartfelt moments, and connected with her struggles and triumphs. It was as if Medea had unlocked something within them, a shared experience that resonated deeply. The same play that had flopped for years suddenly transformed into a massive hit. I could hardly believe it. The impact of Medea was profound. She became a cultural icon, a symbol of strength and humor in the face of adversity. People began to see her not just as a character, but as a voice for the voiceless. I realized that through Medea, I had found my voice too. I was able to tell stories that mattered, stories that reflected the complexities of life, love, and family. The success of Medea opened doors I never thought possible. It allowed me to explore deeper themes, tackle social issues, and connect with audiences on a level I had only dreamed of. I began to understand the power of storytelling, not just to entertain, but to heal and inspire. Looking back, I can see how that moment changed everything for me. Medea wasn't just a breakthrough for my career. She was a breakthrough for my soul. I learned that sometimes, the characters we create can teach us more about ourselves than we ever imagined. And in that laughter and those tears, I found my purpose. I remember the day vividly. I walked into that boardroom, filled with hope and ambition, ready to share my vision. But as I pitched my ideas, I could see the skepticism in their eyes. One by one, the executives dismissed my work, telling me, "This isn't real cinema." Their words stung, but what hurt more was the realization that they didn't see the value in my story, in my voice. But instead of letting their rejection define me, I made a choice. I decided to create my own path. I envisioned a space where creativity could thrive without the constraints of traditional Hollywood. That vision became Tyler Perry Studios. I found a sprawling 330 acres in Atlanta, Georgia, a blank canvas where I could bring my dreams to life. Building this studio wasn't easy. There were countless obstacles, but I was determined. I wanted to create a place that not only showcased my work but also opened doors for others. A place where diverse stories could be told, where filmmakers and artists could come together and create freely. Today, when I stand in front of Tyler Perry Studios, I feel a sense of pride. This isn't just my success. It's a testament to resilience and the power of believing in oneself. Hollywood may have turned me away, but now, major productions from Marvel to Netflix come to my studio to shoot their films. This is more than just a studio. It's a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to be limited by someone else's vision. It's a space where creativity knows no bounds, where every story matters. I've created a legacy that inspires others to dream big and to know that they can carve out their own space in this industry. To anyone who's ever felt rejected or overlooked, remember this. Sometimes, the best way to prove your worth is to build your own platform. Your voice matters, and your stories deserve to be told. I went from sleeping in my car to building a billion-dollar empire. Every magazine cover, every award, reminds me of my journey. I own my content, my studios, my story. But I never forgot the struggle. That's why I give back, donating millions to the homeless, paying off strangers' groceries, supporting struggling artists. I know what it feels like to have nothing, and I believe in lifting others up. It's not just about success. It's about making a difference. Life can be a relentless teacher, shaping us through pain and rejection. Just look at Tyler Perry. His journey shows us that our past doesn't define our future. Every setback can either break us or build us stronger. You don't need anyone's permission to chase your dreams. You don't need perfect conditions. All it takes is belief, persistence, and a dash of courage. If you're feeling lost, remember, your story isn't finished yet. Keep writing, keep moving forward. One day, your resilience might inspire a story that the world can't ignore.